Addiction is an overwhelming brain disease that can take over our lives. It damages relationships, careers, and everything we value. Understanding addiction is an important step towards treating this debilitating disease.
So hi, my name is Brett. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm here to share what I've been through with my walk with addiction.
Brett Darling has suffered with an addiction to drugs for most of his adult life. However, he has spent the last 9 years helping others overcome their struggles by sharing his journey.
Yeah, I grew up privileged. I grew up spoiled brat. I grew up not needing or lacking anything in my life. Normal kid. But I knew already then that there was a bit of a problem. Because anything I did it to the extreme. I was never happy with just in between or grey area. Everything I did to the extreme. My first exposure to any kind of mind or mood altering substance was, we had this CD cleaner or this, anyway, it came with this type of Tipex thinners type product, and I remember smelling it, and I liked the smell of it. And the more I smelt it, the better I felt. And the more I smelt it, and I carried on smelling it, and I got high and more high and more high. And I liked to feel other than myself. From there, alcohol. We had this nice fancy bar area at our house, and I abused the alcohol at any given opportunity. I don't ever differentiate between the severity of the different substances. But for myself, when I first discovered the substance that I really liked, it was ecstasy.
Brett later was exposed to crack, and that became his drug of choice. In the past years, crack cocaine known as rocks has found its way into the South African market. This made cocaine more accessible to the abuser because crack is cheaper than cocaine powder. According to the DEA, crack is the fastest growing drug of abuse in South Africa.
Crack came after cocaine. I still remember the one night, myself and a bunch of us, we were on our way to a rave, and a friend of ours said, no, he needs to stop off in Hillbrow and get some cocaine. And I still remember thinking to myself, wow, this is a junkie. This is like, we're all having fun with our recreational drugs. This guy like wants to take it, he wants to spoil our mood and go take like cocaine. By the end of the night, I was using the cocaine with him, and that euphoric feeling of cocaine was, I loved it. Like, I really loved it. From when I started earning my own money, I was just off the rails. And any opportunity I got to go and party, I did. I'm very shy. I'm an introvert, and I used the excuse that I needed my substance to enable me to be like my friends, to be more vocal, to be funny. I also grew up a fat kid, so I had very little self-worth. I didn't see myself as much.
Cocaine smugglers recruit young South Africans as couriers, or as their so-called mule. A lot of these young South Africans are recruited with a promise of large amounts of money that will be paid to them if they successfully smuggle the cocaine that is stuck to their bodies or hidden in their suitcases into the country.
In 1998, I was a big 702 fan. I love information. One of the topics of discussion was, where will you be for the millennium? And at that moment, I said to myself, I'll probably be in jail somewhere. I just thought to myself, I'll be in jail. If I'd only known how true that would be down the line. So in 1998, I had quite a bad year, okay? So the first time I went missing, did a whole lot of check fraud with Nigerians, ran around the streets of Hillbrow, smoking crack by night, daytime, some type of criminal. Then I waited treatment, came out, and ended up exactly where I left off. The second time when I went missing, I was really riddled with a lot of shame and guilt, and I couldn't bring myself to going home after being missing for so long again. After the money had dried up and I'd pawned my girlfriend at the time, her best friend's car, the cell phone, I had nothing left, like everything was pawned. Eventually the Nigerian said, listen, it's time for you to leave. So I spent quite a few weeks on the streets begging for money, for food, for drugs. But now one of the conversations I had with the Nigerian whilst getting high was, hey, like, can I? Oh, I'm an adventurer. I would love to go to a foreign country and fetch some drugs and bring it back here. How hard can it be? They gave me my airplane ticket. They gave me, I think it was like $200, and fetched me and dropped me off at the Joburg International and said, somebody will meet you in Brazil, phone this number. Got to Brazil, they took my ticket, they took my passport, and they left me there for like a month. Actually, it was about 6 weeks. Long story short, eventually the Nigerians showed up at my door and said, you're going to travel now. Before I traveled, they bought me a suit and made sure that I looked the part. I don't know what part that would be, but I looked the part, and they strapped the cocaine to my body. I was told I was only carrying 1 kilogram. When I was arrested, I was arrested with 5 kilograms. They initially put me into a cell. They didn't allow me to take the drugs off because they were waiting for two things: the photographer, and they were waiting for the translator. So apparently I had to have my rights read to me in the language that I understood. I arrived at the Federal Police holding cells. So this is where I really started to like fear for my life. So when I arrived there, they threw me into the cell. Now, I don't know if it's weekend or whatever the case was, but the cell was so full. As I opened the door, I could hit with the stench of heat and smell. Some really bad things happened to me. I witnessed a lot of murder. I witnessed a lot of abuse. I was abused. I was beaten. There was every now and again. There's a police force called Shocky. They would come into the prison. They would just cause mayhem. They would break all our things. They would look for contraband, guns, knives, drugs, anything that they could find that we shouldn't have. It was like a field day for them. Every time they came, they would make us line us kneel, but they would throw down raw beans on the floor. We have to kneel on the beans with our hands behind our heads like this, and we sit like that for 5 or 6 hours. They will let the dogs on us. They will hit us with batons. Can't talk, can't move. They gave me an extra article. So I was charged for possession, trafficking international, and organized crime. It took me about 2 years to get sentenced. And I thought I was going free. Sorry, I haven't spoken about this stuff in a long while. 2 minutes. I smuggled in 10 reais. It's like, yeah, enough to make a phone call. And I chose to phone the Nigerian over my mom. Like I really believed that I was like quite innocent, that I've made some kind of silly error. Like enough now, I've learned my lesson. Promise, if you let me go free, I won't make the same mistakes again. Wow, was I under some sort of disillusion.
After years of dealing with post-traumatic stress and being in and out of rehab, Brett knew that he needed to share his story and help others that have an addiction to overcome this chronic lifelong condition. He opened up a rehab center so that he could pay it forward and help as many people as he can to help manage their recovery.
From prison, slowly as my life progressed, I realized that I have the ability, or I have the strength, or I have that something that allows people to listen to what I have to say. All of that can't be for nothing. So I had nothing to lose when I said to the universe, I want a rehab. And I was awarded with a rehab. Us addicts, we lie, we steal, we cheat, we are the most cruel. You cannot trust an addict for anything. If an addict starts to talk, you've got to check if he's telling the truth. But as long as they are still breathing, as long as there's still life left in an addict, there's still hope.